Yeah, my first movie, To Freddy. It's a film I made. It was my first feature film as part of a bachelor degree, and it was a fun project. I made it with a couple of friends. We were all students at the time, and I guess it was kind of the first array into the thriller genre for me. And it was made on a very low budget, so it's kind of what kind of got me started into learning and that you can do these type of movies or feature films for very few resources. Yeah.
And Jhon is basically commenting that the ending of the story seems very curious to him. So, can you please elaborate a little bit more about the end?
About Good Boy?
No, Till Freddy.
Oh, Till Freddy. Yeah. Curious. The film kind of starts with the ending in a way. So it kind of starts. The thing about the ending is supposed to end quite abruptly, and also the film is all about being able to tell the future. So it was so the ending is also the beginning in a way. So it's important to start the film with the ending. So yeah.
Hay también otra película que la verdad me parece interesante que fue exhibida en el Diabólica Horror Film Festival. Es bastante interesante y curioso en saber de que yo la pude ver en línea. Muy pocas personas la vieron, pero quisiera preguntarle por qué no ha sido distribuida correctamente, porque la historia es bastante increíble. Se llama Theodore.
So, John's next question is about a film that he actually got to watch online because he wants to ask you a bit more why hasn't this film named Theodore had the opportunity to be shown in more places and more screens. He mentions that the film was on the Diabolical Horror Film Festival recently. So, and he got to watch the film online. He thought it was a very powerful, a very interesting film. And he wonders why does this film that seemingly has a very different and fresh approach to the genre hasn't had the chance to be seen by many people as it deserves.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy that you enjoyed the film. I think sadly with Theodore, what happened was that it was a film it was made right after To Freddy, and then right after we shot Theodore, we kind of started immediately on the pre-production and the development of Good Boy, which was much more of an ambitious film. So it kind of got forgotten a little bit, I guess you can say. And no, I hope that more people will get to see it, and we'll find a way for more people to see it. But sadly, what happened was that we ended up prioritizing Good Boy instead. And it was kind of supposed to be like an experiment. It was, only shot in 10 days and had a budget of, I think, $500. And then when we shot the film, it was kind of finished right when Corona started. So it's just a lot of things that kind of coincided that made it so that I guess you could say it kind of got forgotten a little bit.
But you know what happens with certain films that get ignored? They eventually find their audience.
Yeah, we hope so. Hopefully.
Hopefully so. Pues me está diciendo que básicamente la razón por la que la Theodore no tuvo tanta acogida como tal fue porque por una serie de factores como que estaba entre la producción, el proyecto fue creado entre la producción de Till Freddy y Good Boy, y básicamente ellos grabaron con un presupuesto como de $500 básicamente, y también el coronavirus empezó a pegar en esa época. Por eso fue que, como tal, fue una serie de factores que perjudicó a Theodore para que tuviera como más repercusión, pero pues él tiene esperanza de que la peli tenga más audiencia en los años venideros.
Ahí vamos a hablar sobre Good Boy. Esta historia está siendo muy bien recibida. No sé si haya escuchado, yo le envié la reseña de Rotten Mind, es un canal español que opinó sobre ella. Aquí estuvo Martin Smoke. Quisiera preguntarle sobre si él se inspiró, bueno, aparte del cortometraje que hicieron antes, si él se inspiró viendo a Toko. Toko es el hombre que es el primer hombre, o como decir, transpress en Japón, que se disfrazó de perro y que quiere ser perro.
So let's talk now about Good Boy. Basically, it's a film that Jhon also watched that he really liked very much, and that actually was very has it has been very well received. The YouTube channel Rotten Mind, which is a channel that is specializes on talking about these more obscure titles in order for them to give more relevancy to them so that new audiences can find them. They gave a very glowing review to that film, and also the channel interviewed Martin Smook, who was the composer on this one. So can you please elaborate a little bit more about this project, and also one of the inspirations, which was Toko, which is about a man who dresses up as a dog?
Yeah. So the funny thing about Toko is that we hadn't, the film was shot. We wrote the script back in 2020, and then we shot the film in 2021, and then so we didn't actually know about the Toko until after the film was finished. So it was kind of a funny coincidence that when this film was coming out, that there was a lot of stories about this Toko guy. So I think, I guess that's just good publicity for us, that it's kind of become more and more relevant. This person in a dog costume concept has become more and more relevant after we made the film. So yeah, it was just so there wasn't really, when it comes to the person in dog costume, there wasn't really any specific inspiration. It was just, I guess, furries in a way was a inspiration, but it was just a concept that I was very interested in. With the low budget films we make, we try to make concepts that are very easy to hook audiences in, and get people interested just by the log line or by the story. And yeah.
¿Qué otra pregunta le vas a
Bueno, ahí,
hacer?
bueno, en esa misma es que es bastante curioso porque cuando escogió los protagonistas es bastante fluida, tanto la película, la historia es bastante muy bizarra. Quisiera preguntarle si desea explorar ese mundo de las obsesiones de las personas o las parafilias, o se toma un descanso y sigue otro proyecto.
So John's next question is that, well, the story in itself is very bizarre, it's very interesting, and he wonders that if you, regarding to your future work, are you going to um, deep go deeper into paraphilias, into people's obsessions with certain things, or would you like to give a different turn in terms of the stories that you're going to tell?
No, that's very much true. I very much want to explore more of, how you say, people's obsessions and stuff like that. Obviously, I want to widen my horizon and do different things, but at the moment, I'm very fascinated by people's obsessions, and also I think obsessions make for, or weird or bizarre things make for good films. So right now we're actually working on a film called Above the Knee, which is about a person with BID, which is short for body integrity dysphoria, and which means they want to become disabled, and this main character wants to amputate their left leg. So it's very much in a similar vein as Good Boy, and which is now in post-production, so hopefully that will come out next year.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed.
Yo quiero preguntarte lo más importante, dos últimas preguntas súper curiosas. Es que acá en Colombia, bueno, están viendo en Latinoamérica el tema de Good Boy. Es bastante interesante para aquellos cinéfilos. Quisiera preguntarte si alguna vez vendrías a Colombia para poder grabar algo pues, diferente, algo chévere, o tienes pensado de pronto alguna invitación que te haga a algún festival de cine para que proyectes la historia.
So, as John's next question is that since your career has been going up the rise, especially with projects like Good Boy, which we're very excited to watch it next year, he's asking if you would ever come to our country, Colombia, because we are very much hungry for these types of films, these types of bizarre stories, which are perfect for film clubs and for fantastic film festivals that are coming up every year. So he wonders if one, will you ever come to our country? And second, if you have already been receiving offers from film festivals so they can so they can screen Good Boy in the upcoming months.
Yeah, so I would love to come to Colombia, especially, if there's any film festivals that want to screen it, and yeah, show my film there and talk with people about it. So absolutely, I'd be open to go to Colombia. I haven't been there, so I'd love to explore the place. And also, right now, there are some film festivals that are going to screen Good Boy, but mostly now, since it's coming out in streaming and stuff, it just came out, or this last month it came out in the US and England. I think the biggest focus now is, streaming, and also some places I think it'll have a, theatrical run. So yeah.
Listo, John. Pues básicamente me está diciendo que le encantaría venir a Colombia y me dice que tiene ya algunas ofertas de ciertos festivales, pero pues que ahorita como el proyecto Good Boy se estrenó en streaming en los Estados Unidos y en Inglaterra, pues que está esperando más o menos como cualquier novedad con respecto a eso.
Increíble. Bueno, por último, que define esta película en una palabra y que me cuente alguna experiencia en el que fue el cámara y electricidad en esta historia que me pareció súper chévere, que fue proyectada, que yo lo vi en el canal de Panamá de Festival, Jhon Asken.
So, last question before we go. First of all, thank you for being on the channel. It was a real pleasure getting to know more of your work. And what Jhon is wondering about is about a project that you were involved in, mostly on camera and lighting, which is called Jhon Asken. So, could you please tell us a bit more about your experience on that one?
Yeah, so I was that film is directed by Thomas Wullenbakken, and the film is produced by FedEx Film, which is the same production company as Good Boy and To Freddy and Theodore. So on that project, I was just kind of helping out as in ways that I could, with helping out a little bit with camera and stuff. It's a very great short film, and yeah, so that's part of the same kind of collective of filmmakers as Good Boy, which is that is based in Norway. Yeah.
One last question. This will be indeed the last one. How would you define Good Boy in a single word?
Single word. I guess weird is the word for it.
Básicamente te dice que la palabra sería raro.
Yes. Bueno, Viljar, este es tu espacio para que digas tus redes sociales, un saludo para Colombia, invita a la gente a ver Good Boy, en donde se puede ver.
All right, so thank you once again for being a part of the channel, for sharing us your work, and hopefully we get to see more of it in the upcoming years. Please share with us your social media, where we can find you, and also where we can see Good Boy, which you told us that it was on streaming at the moment, and where we can see more of your work as well. And then we will pose for a final picture. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. No, it was great talking to you guys, and I mostly use Instagram, which is Viljar Bøe, just my name, without Norwegian instead it's a O, and you can see Good Boy in some countries right now. It's of what I know about, it just came out in France on Shadows, and it's in Australia USA and England and some other territories. I'm not 100% sure about all of them, but you can probably just look up Good Boy and you can see if it's streaming in your country.
Viljar, gracias por estar en el canal. Bienvenido siempre y bueno, mucho éxito en tus próximos proyectos.
Viljar, once again, thank you so much for being here, for letting us interview you today. We wish you the very best of successes. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.